topic is creating a democratic classroom, and I chose the Futures Wills discussion. So I chose a 4th grade standard, which is describe the characteristics of slave life on plantations across the South. So a part of this, there are several steps that you're supposed to go through. So step 1 is describing the issue. So the teacher, this would be the issue, so cruel treatment of slaves. So the teacher would go and write this issue on the smartboard. And then they would ask students, so like, what are slaves? Like, what were the slaves' job? What did they do? And how are they treated cruelly? So this would be done at the end, like at the end of a unit. So they would already have a good understanding of what slaves are and what plantations are, slave owners, and like African Americans during that time. Step 2 would be brainstorming. And I would ask a question that would say, what could have taken place for the slaves to be treated more fairly? So students would come up with some solutions of how they could be treated more fairly. And then I would have a student come up and write the solution on the board as well as on their paper. So some solutions that I came up with, they could actually get paid, they could be required to work less hours, be required housing if they're working that long, and then also be given food like a meal or several meals. And then step 3 is look to the future. So I would group students into several groups. So if there's 20 students in the class, there would be 4 students in each group of 5 groups. And then each group would come up with a reason why they think that their solution was good. And this is called the next generation. And during this part, discussion is very key. So like students are able to listen to their peers and also talk and participate in these discussions. And this is how it would look. So they would have the issue, then the solution, and the reason why with evidence that this is like a good solution. Then step 4 is analysis. So students will label which ideas are desirable or probable. So they'll go through and label a D or a P with those, and then they'll go through these questions that I have listed to determine which one is desirable or probable. So it'll look like this on their paper. So it will have the issue, the solution, the reason why, and if they are labeled desirable or probable. Then step 5 is the consequences. So have students think about factors that they may have forgotten about. So like we could talk about the cotton gin and how like that would require them to work as many hours if they had that technology. And then each group will pick the best solution and the reasoning why, and write 2 paragraphs on why they chose this solution. And I'll be using this rubric to grade them. So the first category is understanding a topic. Do they have relevant solutions and evidence for this issue? Did the students follow all the directions and go through all the steps? Did they participate in the discussion? Did they work well together? Did they talk as well as listen to their peers? And then as well as the assignment, they'll have to turn in their 2 paragraphs in their will discussion, and it's a total of 16 points.
Okay, what was the standard again before you jump out?
Oh, sorry.
That was.
Can we go back to it?
I think it was 4.61. I think.
4.61. Yes.
Are you done?
Yes.
You can stop.